All right, good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me on this great episode of your favorite political talk show, The Truth with Ben Jokes. Now, there is serious confusion in the APC camp right now, as the best of the APC chieftains and TINUBU supporters have completely run out of ideas on how to defend the obvious failure of the TINUBU regime. Following the arraignment and detainment of children, Nigeria's ranking on the table of human rights abusing countries has dropped further, and from what we hear, many countries are soon going to announce the breaking of their diplomatic ties with Nigeria on the basis of numerous human rights violations, starting from the NSAS incident to the southeast killings by the military and the south-south killings in Okwama by the military, and now to these. And when they do, not only will it affect the present economy of Nigeria, making it worse, it will affect the reputation of Nigerians planning to travel out of the country, those ones who are trying to japa. It will affect them, and to an extent, it will affect the appeal of Nigerians already in diaspora. What a shame. And how about the cost of transportation right now in Nigeria? Economic activities are being grounded daily across the country because businessmen and women can no longer afford to move their goods from place to place. And hours ago, APC chiefs, including a minister, gathered in a forum, and it ended in a bitter argument. It ended in an altercation as APC members began to fight amongst themselves. They began to question the heavy failure of the policies of the TINUBU regime. And just as Nigerians were yet reacting to that, REMI TINUBU came out with a bombshell. Some months ago, when we began saying that the TINUBU regime had nothing left to offer, we said they had exhausted everything they knew how to do and that nothing was working, that the country will continue going south from here. Some people came out and called us haters. Now, Tinubu's wife, Remi, has now given up on Tinubu's ability too, saying that the failure within just 18 months is alarming and there's nothing Tinubu and his cabinet can do. Remi has now moved to launch a national week of prayer. She said at this point, we now have to gather and begin to pray for the soul of this country. Before I show you details of that fight amongst APC chiefs and supporters, Remi Tinubu's call for national prayer and the reactions that followed, let me quickly show you these videos. The first video here is that of Northern elder statesman Dr. Usman Yusuf saying that the Nigerian government is worse than bandits. See the video.
For us in the North, this is clearly reminiscent of the days when you have mass school abductions by bandits, and we bring them out in this large number. Fortunately for us, the case we saw, arraigned by the Ministry of Justice to a federal court, they look much worse than what we always get from bandits. So bandits take care of children better than our government. I mean, fellow Nigerians, these children, over 2,000 protesters were arrested during NSAS, during this End Bad Government protest, a protest that is a legitimate right of every citizen. Many were kept without their parents knowing where they were. They were blindfolded. We are getting reports from those who were released. They were blindfolded and transported and detained in centers across the North. These children, and I had the interview of their lawyer, there are 45 minors in this collection of children that were brought to court. These children were brought from Kano, from Kaduna, from Jos, from Gombe to Abuja. What were their crimes? Alleged crimes? Treason, trying to incite mutiny and change of government by the military, waving Russian flag, causing a regime change. These children you saw, this government is so jumpy and insecure because of what it's doing to this country. This is clearly, there's no two-way about it. This is clearly the government trying to terrorize us and terrorize the most vulnerable amongst us, our children, and decriminalizing legitimate protests in this country. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a beneficiary of protest and agitation in this country. And what his government is doing is clearly trying to stifle any voice. And the voices of children, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he's not only our commander-in-chief, but to a nation that is signatory to treaties all over the world in protecting the rights of children. He's also the chairman of ECOWAS. What is he going to tell them? What is he going to tell them? This is a bloody blow and a huge shame to this country, that we're doing this to our children by the government. By the government. When we collect these children from bandits, we take them to hospital and take care of them. But what did President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government do to these children that collapsed in the court of law? They took them back to jail. They took them back to jail. And what did the Attorney General do when he came out? Oh, the Attorney General said he's going to recall the file. Excuse me, Mr. Attorney General, there's no file to recall. What we Nigerians demand is immediate and unconditional release of all of these children.
You heard him. That was Northern Elder Dr. Usman Yusuf there, reacting to the treatment of the children held in detention by the Tinubu regime. And of course, many Northern elites have also come out to criticize that detention, to the point that some have ordered the unconditional release of those children by the Tinubu regime. And there is no gainsaying that the relationship between the Tinubu regime and northern Nigeria is in ruins. And patriotic Nigerians are happy about it, because if we must wrestle power out of the hands of the APC, then that northern tendency for violence is highly needed. And that takes me to this next video of northerners pulling down Tinubu's 2027 campaign billboard. See the video. You saw that. Northerners pulling down Tinubu's 2027 campaign billboards. That is a step in the right direction. Months ago, same Northerners were destroying APC secretariats across the north. Very good. But to get the APC out of power, this same energy, in fact, double of this kind of energy, must be brought out on election day. The APC are not even looking at getting votes from Nigeria anymore. From their actions, you can see that they don't need our votes. They know that rigging is the only option they have left, and Nigerians must be ready to violently insist that the electoral laws must be followed to the letter. Results must be sent to the IRE from the polling unit, and copies of polling unit results must be made available immediately, to all the party agents. Believe me, once they see the resolve of the people, they will have no option than to do what is right. And the proof of the people's resolve is the number of Nigerians who rise to resist the APC. Once the polling unit officers, the returning officers, the REC and all those people know that Nigerians are out and they are ready to beat the hell out of them, and they know that anything can happen in their attempt to rig for the APC, I am telling you, they will not dare. Now, let us look at those two updates that have become the major talking points in the Nigerian political media space. First is the bitter argument between Tinubu and APC Minister Dave Umahi and a Tinubu campaign group director. And next is that disgraceful update coming out of Aso Rock. REMI Tinubu launching National Day of Christian and Muslim prayer following her husband's failure. Let's begin with the updates on Tinubu's minister and supporters. Look at how the papers reported it. Tinubu's minister Umahi orders security to remove APC supporter for questioning 15 trillion Lagos to Calabar Coastal Road project. Minister of Works Dave Umahi ordered security to remove a woman who identified herself as a patron of TINUBU campaign organization after she questioned the Lagos to Calabar Coastal Road project's impact on her property. The woman, a campaigner for Bola Tinubu, claimed the project had been diverted into her estate, resulting in the demolition of her properties despite her government-issued certificates. Umahi accused her of inciting protests to disrupt the project, which she denied. You have been doing a lot to stop the project. Listen to me. If I get further disturbances from you, there will be consequences for it. We are following the law. You are free to go to court if we are infringing on your rights, Umahi warned. When she continued to speak after the microphone was taken away, he instructed, "Security, move her out." The woman retorted, "I am a matron in TINUBU campaign organization that has over 5,000 members." Oh, look at karma. You are a woman. You gathered over 5,000 people to drum support for Tinubu, knowing fully well that this man has nothing to offer. Now, in less than 18 months in office, they have brought down your estate. And of course, I don't have to tell you that everybody in the APC, they are all bullies. All of them will bully you. They do things irrationally and they don't want to be questioned. The woman began talking and Dave Umahi, the Minister of Works, threw her out of the hall. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Let's take some of the tweet reactions. This tweet here by Cyril says, "It is clear that APC government do not take the masses into consideration, even their own supporters. Democracy is supposed to be the government of the people, but APC have redefined it." That is it. And this tweet here by One Love Tunde says, "The other one in the FCT addresses people like slaves. This clueless one here needs to be fired with the way he has handled the coastal highway project. Most federal roads in Nigeria are undrivable, but we have a minister of work who can't defend his project for coastal road. Shambles from top to bottom." That is it. The Tinubu regime is in shambles from top to bottom. And Gilbert Alabi here says, "The scale of these superhighway projects, Lagos to Calabar, Sokoto to Badagry, is simply too staggering. It will push Nigeria into deeper and deeper debt." But they don't care because the companies handling these projects have Sheyi Tinubu as one of their signatories. So they don't care. And Rain here says, "Zero accountability. APC and accountability are two parallel lines that will never meet." They don't want you to question any of their actions at all. This tweet here says, "How can we expect democratic ideals to thrive in Nigeria or Africa when human rights are often compromised? It's such a shame." And this tweet here says, "Who are you that they cannot question? Are you above the law? Or don't you know that you are accountable to Nigerians?" Nonsense. These ones don't care about accountability. These are APC members you are talking about. Now, let's look at that disgraceful update coming out of Aso Rock. Few days ago, His Excellency Peter Obi was speaking in an interview and he said we have replaced doing the right thing with prayer in Nigeria and that it was one of our problems. He said when elected, he would convert night vigils to night shifts. Of course, not all night vigils, but at least most of that time should be converted into something productive. When we have industries everywhere, people will be working night shifts like they do in other working economies across the world, and Nigeria will be a much better place. And few hours ago, REMI TINUBU and National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu buttressed Peter Obi's words with their disgraceful call for 1 week of national prayer that they now have to pray to fix the economy and other problems of Nigeria. Look at how the papers reported it. First Lady, NSA, to lead national prayer for Nigeria's economic turnaround. Senator Oluremi Tinubu and National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu will spearhead a national prayer session aimed at addressing Nigeria's numerous challenges. The initiative, coordinated with Christian and Muslim religion leaders, seeks divine intervention for the country's social, economic, and security issues under the theme Seeking the Intervention of God in Nigeria's Affairs. Chief Segun Balogun Afolorunnikan, Director General of the National Prayer Forum, announced the event in Abuja, emphasizing the importance of unity in overcoming Nigeria's crisis. According to Afolorunnikan, this interfaith gathering signifies a collective response with hopes of fostering resilience among citizens and inspiring leaders to find lasting solutions for the nation's stability. The prayer sessions will take place over a week, with Muslims congregating at the National Mosque, where 313 participants will recite the Quran, totaling 2,191 recitations dedicated to national peace. Concurrently, Christians will gather at the National Ecumenical Center with prayer warriors from various denominations focusing on Nigeria's ongoing adversities. As part of preparations, MPF leaders have engaged the National Mosque, the Christian Association of Nigeria, and key traditional figures, including Sultan of Sokoto, to ensure broad participation and support. Organizers hope the prayer sessions will inspire a renewed sense of purpose and stability as Nigeria moves towards 2025. Afolorunnikan explained, unity is crucial for finding lasting solutions. By the end of this prayer session, we believe that with God's wisdom, our leaders and citizens will find the strength to confront our common enemies. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Let's take some of the tweet reactions. This tweet here by Ramotu Olani, he says, exactly what Peter Obi was saying yesterday, and Ronu bandits were foaming in their mouths. Focus on work and productivity as a panacea for pulling people out of poverty instead of lazy dependence on spiritual intervention. That is it. And the truth only here says this madness is only available in Africa. After stealing billions to enrich themselves and families, they will use religion to deceive the ever gullible Nigerians. That is it. And Aye Mojuba here says the National Security Advisor has abandoned intelligence gathering and joined the ranks of night vigilantes and praying mantis. Is such a shame. The office of the NSA resorting to prayer to solve the problems of Nigeria. And Peng here says, imagine trying to tell God what you are supposed to tell your husband. And Sebastian replied, he said, P.O. is exonerated. That is it. Amber says, leave this country for your own good. These are people that have totally given up on Nigeria. Wow. What a disgraceful outcome here in Nigeria. I have never heard of anything. I've been following, world politics for so many years. I have never heard of anything like this. National Security Advisor will now sit down with TINUBU's wife and they will say they want to start praying. Bandits, several infos have come out. Raw infos given to you guys to use to apprehend these people. Things that you can put into practical use and curb this menace. You refuse to use those ones. Then in the area of the economy, experts warned you when you were about to carry out all these your disastrous policies. You ignored all of them. Till today, you are still ignoring counsels. And now you are coming out to say you want to go and pray. Who do you think you are fooling? This is another avenue for them to use taxpayers' monies, to settle all these imams and pastors. That man was speaking there. He said 313 imams will be the ones to gather to recite the prayer. Meaning they would have recited the Quran 2,190 something times. What does that do? What is that going to do to the economy? Is that going to make us productive? Can you just listen to yourself, these guys? And anyone who still has any soft spot for the APC, imagine the utterances. Imagine what is coming out of the mouths of the people that you feel can turn things around. You are going to bring pastors to come and speak in tongues and pray. How is that going to increase our exportation? How is that going to fix the power sector? These people know the right things to do. Even if you don't have the knowledge on how to do these things, why not step aside instead of destroying our country? But this is the APC. They have come to steal, to kill, and to destroy. This is what I've kept saying. And I think by now, everybody should have seen that this is not an exaggeration. If in 2024, with all the civilization in the world, these people are gathering to say that they want to pray, then you should know that these people are after this country's downfall. And I'm telling Nigerians, I keep appealing to Nigerians, if we ever want to have a country in the near future, then we must put our sentiments aside, come together and get the APC out of power. But until then, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una na I dey here, so don't go away, don't go away.